Yeah, productivity is such a fun topic. There's so many different little things that we can do or not do. They're going to help improve that, right? It's like, how do we do less or do more with less, right? And I've been talking about some of the cool things that are in Microsoft 365, like sharing and, book with me. Today I want to talk about lists. And the reason I want to talk about lists, and this is a piece of functionality that's actually been baked into SharePoint and therefore Microsoft 365 since the platform started. And I'm talking about nearly 2 decades ago, right? Yes, that long. And I've been using it for about that long. And the cool thing with Microsoft Lists is that what you can do is you can bring a spreadsheet to life. You can unlock it from the bowels of your file system and only accessible by a tool called Microsoft Excel. You got to click on the file, open it. Someone else is editing the file. Well, then you can't do anything about it, right? There were workarounds, and Microsoft did allow you to share documents. And now with the co-authoring, it does allow multiple people to use the same documents at once, but there's some caveats around that. But I'm not going to be talking about Excel. That's a topic for another day. Today I want to talk about lists. And the reason I want to talk about lists is you can take those registers, those lists of things that you have somewhere else, stuffed away in your Excel spreadsheets, and put them into a SharePoint or a Microsoft list. And the reason you want to do this, well, there's lots of reasons actually, but there's a couple of core reasons. Number one, you can now create it so that multiple people can edit or add rows to your list at the same time. Right? With the inbuilt versioning, every change is tracked and there's a name associated to those changes. But more importantly, you can constrain the data that goes in there. You can force certain fields to have values in there, and you can have other fields of specific types, be it a choice or drop down, be it a checkbox, long text, short text, dates, times, even lookups to other lists. Yes, you can build it a bit like a relational database, right? That's when some real creative stuff can happen. So if you've got, say, two lists, one for customers and one for the contacts within the customers, then you can have your customer list and your contact list. Your customers has all the business names and your contacts has all the people. And those people can be associated with a customer. But all you need to do is add the reference to that rather than typing in the name every time. It ensures that you get better quality data. And the thing with lists is quality of data. But that doesn't stop there. Once it's in a list, we can then plug it into Power Automate and Power Apps and other pieces of things, or even use it for another list somewhere else to power different things, right? So let's say, for example, you've got a list. It's a register of projects that you're trying to build, that you're trying to track. So when you put in your project item, it can then send off a message to the approver of all projects. They can then approve it and say, yes, it's acceptable. It updates another piece of data, a data point within the list. And then it can trigger another workflow that then goes and automatically generates your data structures for that project. Maybe it's a folder in a specific site, or maybe it's a brand new site with certain elements that have been enabled, and then notify all the people, because that's another field type, which you can have one or more people on that are part of that project, that the project's available, and you can go here to get access to it. All of what I've described is completely possible when you release or let your registers or data sets escape from Excel. So if you've got a bunch of Excel registers where you're tracking things, release them, let them free. Convert it to a Microsoft list today, and guess what? You can use your Excel spreadsheet as your data source to import the list and create all the columns for you. So it's even easier. No excuses. Give it a go today and set your data free.